Crown Prince TV. Okay, I just want to briefly give us uh, the update. I want to update us about the meeting that was held last night in the platform of MFM, Freedom Movement. You know, it's a kind of a pressure group, okay, led by the leadership of a comrade, that is a comrade Rio, or Hadmi Rio, as is popularly known. Okay, is the owner of the platform, and he organized a meeting last night. All right, agitating for the grants to be disbursed by the government, by CBN, and the grant handlers under 48 hours. So last night meeting was a meeting that was scheduled to actually deliberate and plan on the next line of action should, in case the 48 hours given, to the CBN and Real Fund, I mean to CBN and Theobald Global Foundation and the UAAG to disburse the grants to the masses in Nigeria. All right, what is going to happen, and the next line of action that the masses is going to take was what the meeting, last night meeting, was organized for. All right, just organized to deliberate and plan and talk about the next line of action should, in case the CBN and the other commercial banks, in collaboration with Theobald Global Foundation and UAG, fail to give us the disbursement within 48 hours. So in a nutshell, without further ado, let's hear the details, proper in the meeting as the meeting goes. So the next thing you're going to be hearing or you're going to be seeing is going to be the extraction recorded version of the meeting that was held in MFM platform last night. So happy.
Capacity.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Secretary. Thank you very much, everybody. Welcome to this evening's meeting on the 17th. This night's meeting is actually meant to target more of a reaction and then to mobilize, to make demand for our money and call a spade a spade. Previously, I had intimated on several occasions that there is money, there is grant ready to be disbursed. But for selfish interest and greed amongst politicians, amongst grant handlers, and amongst those that are supposed to help us get this disbursement, we keep having delay, one thing or the other delaying us. At this point, we are not smiling. We want to tell Nigerian government, want to tell all concerned, we are not smiling. We are not happy. Let's call a spade a spade. How can we have all the technology, financial technology, we have the money, we have the human resources, and yet we still cannot get disbursement up till now? Who wouldn't be angry with such a misnomer? Who wouldn't be angry that things are going wrong for reasons that can't be explained? We have the money, we have the financial technology, we have the human resources to work, we have the time, we have the space. All these resources are available, yet we cannot have disbursement. Why would people get high blood pressure and worry why a nation like Nigeria cannot get things done for once? It all boils down to one thing. They don't really care about us. That's what Michael Jackson was doing in his song. They don't really care about us. If they cared about us, by now, this money would be disbursed. If they really cared. So according to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he said, allow Nigerians to breathe. So how come these people are not allowing us to breathe? We have to tell the president to breathe. They constitute into the CBN governor, Dr. Mike Olayemi, Olayemi, sorry, I mean to say, Dr. Oyelami, Apostle Ken Wakam, Apostle Theophilus, all the commercial bank managers. Femi Gbajabiamila, right honorable, because he's a part of this, he knows about these things. We call their names because they don't care. If they cared, by now there should be disbursement. With respect to their position of authority in this country, by now there should have been disbursement. So we call them by their names. How can Nigerians suffer like this? We know since Mr. President stopped and withdrew fuel subsidy up till now, there's no disbursement. How do they think Nigerians should survive? How do they want Nigerians to breathe? And yet the money is there. And yet the financial technology is there. And yet the human resources are there. And yet the space is there. The time is available. And yet we cannot have disbursement. What is going on in this country? How long will we keep continuing like this? What is it about? We are so insatiable in our greed for money. We have money that's ready. UAA's money, part of it that is set aside for disbursement is ready. It should be disbursed. There's no need to wait for another grant to be added to it. It can be disbursed the way it is first. Stop punishing Nigerians and punishing Nigerians and punishing Nigerians in the name of sharing money. This is very offensive. It can't be explained anywhere. There is no scientific explanation to what we are experiencing right now. This is a new year. We have battled for 1 year, December to last year, December. No disbursement. This January, today is 17th. How many more days before this month will run out? And yet we have people in positions of authority. Up till now, we cannot get disbursement. We are saying that these people in this, let me tell you, these people, if they cared, Nigerians would have had this disbursement. And guess what? None of these people is really buying fuel by themselves. All the bank managers in this country are being sponsored by their banks, including the CBN. They don't buy their own diesel. They don't buy their own fuel. They probably don't even pay for their own cards, airtime and things like that, because some of these companies dash them some things at that management level. Does Femi Gbajabiamila spend his own money on his fuel? The answer is no. For how many years? These are the people. What of Ken Wakama? The money we have contributed as logistics. What of Theophilus Olochebe? The money we've contributed as logistics money. What is going on here? It is time to call a spade, and then we get our money. If 48 hours elapses and we do not get disbursement, we're going to put it on paper publicly. And then we'll go ahead to do something more than that. Enough is enough in this country. We want Mr. President to know that he should call the CBN governor, Dr. Mike Olayemi, to order, and call his chief of staff, Gbajabiamila, right honorable, to order, and call Ken Wakama to order, and call Theophilus Olochebe to order, and call all the bank managers that are in this country to order to disburse this money, that enough is enough. Why wouldn't they allow Nigerians to breathe? What have we done that we should deserve this kind of treatment in this country? Any of them there that buys fuel from their own money, let them come out and say that that's what they do. Any of them that takes flight and it is not sponsored either by logistics money or by their banks, let them come out and tell us their flight tickets. So that is not necessary at this point. So we call Mr. President, Mr. President to call these people to order so that we can have our thing. We could have our thing and get it done, and with speed. Enough is enough. January is going. so that the next 48 hours, we need disbursement. If they really care, let them go and disburse this money for us in the next 48 hours. If Femi Gbajabiamila, if you really care, if you listen to my voice, this is the cry of the masses. People are dying. People are being checked out of their houses, of their homes, because they cannot pay rent. School fees have come. No, parents are finding it hard to pay. And people sit down there and not help us. If you people really care, you will disburse this money within 48 hours. Yes, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, if you really care, you will make sure this money is disbursed within 48 hours. CBN Governor Michael Oyelami Olayemi, sorry for missing your name. If you really care, you will force CBN to disburse this money immediately to us. Ken Wakama, if you really care, you will make sure that this disbursement happens in the next 48 hours. But if you really care, you will make sure that in the first 48 hours, this money is disbursed to us. Managers of banks in this country, commercial banks, if you people really care, in the next 48 hours, you will come together and make sure this money is disbursed to us in the next 48 hours. But what you are doing is you are becoming heartless, mindless, wicked to the masses. Upon all what Mr. President is saying, allow the poor masses to breathe. You people are not allowing us to breathe. How long will you keep processing money when you have the financial technology to do so? This is not 18 something. This is a 20th century modern technology and financial technology. This money can be disbursed. So why are we having this kind of, what is wrong? It is time for all of you to stop the sharing of money. If it is the money that is a problem, stop it. You can fix it. There's not, CBN can calculate all that money in the shortest possible time and get these things done. They have the technology to do that. Why do we want to use manual method to decide formula? What is this? And for goodness sake, we know UAS money, part of it is ready for that disbursement. The one that was set aside for disbursement is ready. I don't care what anybody in UAS is talking about. They don't know anything in you. Government doesn't meet them. Government doesn't talk to these people in US that are saying there's no money. The UAS money we know that was set aside that for this disbursement is the one we published on paper on the 30th of September 2023. So we know what we are talking about. And that is the money we want Mr. President to go ahead and give an order for this money to be disbursed. We are tired that we are living in this country. None of these people is buying fuel from their own pockets. If not for logistics money we've given them. Enough is enough. They don't buy Gary in the way. So in fact, everything is sponsored. All the bank managers, they enjoy these benefits. So, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, if you really care, Gbajabiamila, if you really care, the CBN governor, Dr. Mike, if you really care, Ken Wakama, Apostle, if you really care, Theophilus Eboy, Apostle, if you really care, commercial bank managers, if you really care, you disburse this money within 48 hours to us. You put your acts together and make sure this money comes out. I'm only making you feel the pulse of the masses through my voice. You've punished us. You have not cared. You don't bother what people go through. People are dying in hospital over small disease they can take care of, but they cannot pay bills. And people are comfortable watching us die in penury, as if you're inflicting on us purposely. What a mischief. That is how it is interpreted. For you to see fellow Nigerians die, it is mischief. It's wickedness to us that you're doing. It is lack of conscience, lack of heart, lack of mind. It is heartlessness. It is wickedness to the masses of this country. That you see us die and you don't care. You keep shifting from this week to next week, from next week to another week. January, you're still doing. If you really care, within 48 hours, this morning, you will release it. Nigerians don't fear you because you're a public servant saving us and you're supposed to do your job. And we believe the time is you've taken too much of time. If we have human resources, financial technology, we have what you call space and time. You even have breath. God has given you people breath to breathe, and yet you cannot disburse money. If you people really care, Nigerians won't go through what they're going through right now, even after Mr. President said that you should allow us to breathe. We still find out that you people don't want us to breathe in this country. But we say enough is enough. If after 48 hours we will put it on national daily. So that these people have consistently, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, the masses are the first to write you when you resume office as chief of staff. Masses of this country wrote you in grant community and told you to assist. So you have knowledge and you're involved in it. And up till now, with all your power, if you really care, Right Honorable, you'll do something about this thing in the next 48 hours. Central Bank Governor, Dr. Mike, if you really care, you will sit up and do something about this. What does it take you to give an order to all the commercial banks to disburse that money? What does it take you to come up with a formula that can do this job? It doesn't take anything. This is your area already. If you don't know it, is it us that will know what to do? We are doing our own calling and saying, please help, do what you need to do. Ken Wakama, if you really care, you will go ahead and make sure the disbursement is under 48 hours. The same thing with Theophilus Emboy. If you people really care, you will make sure this money is disbursed in 48 hours. The bank manager, you people are just enjoying at the top level of management. Don't care you don't give a damn what we are going through in this country. If any of you really care, 48 hours is too much. But after that 48 hours, we'll come out publicly and put your pictures on national dailies and publish that you are the enemies of masses. You are the ones wicked to us. After there is money, there is grants, yet you refuse to come together to make sure there's disbursement within the shortest possible time. After being delayed for the whole of last year. And yet, this is a new year. We must live our life. You don't care. It is sad that we could have this money. We have the grants. We have the human resources. We have the financial technology. We have the time and space. And we have the breath God has given us. And then this money cannot be disbursed in Nigeria. What a sorry state of things. What a sorry state of a nation. You hear people say, Japa, 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 and you want to tell doctors to stay. What would they stay here and do in this kind of a bad state of a country? This is wickedness to Nigerians. This is wickedness to Nigerians just because you don't buy fuel from your own pocket. Is it that you're being given, you're using logistics money from the masses, or you're enjoying government money, or you're enjoying money from the banks? Michael Jackson said they don't really care. And that is the truth. But if you really care, in the next 48 hours, Right Honorable Gbajabiamila, Dr. Mike of Central Bank, Ken Wakama, Country Director of UAAG, Theophilus Eboye, Country Director of Toba Global Foundation, and the bank managers of commercial banks. If you people really love Nigerians and cared, you will make sure this money is disbursed under 48 hours. With all the financial technology we have in the 21st century, you people are doing things that can't be explained in heaven and on earth. This thing you people are doing cannot be explained in heaven and on earth. That Nigeria has this kind of resources and yet this money cannot be disbursed to Nigerians. Mr. President said you people should allow us to breathe. Allow Nigerians to breathe. The fuel cost is too high. The cost of food is too high. Cost of transportation is too high. Cost of communication is too high. Cost of everything is getting high. Cost of medicine to treat is high. You people enjoy to love see us die just because some of you have medical insurances. You have medical outfits in your companies, in the banks that take care of your health. And in government, you can fly out abroad at any time. They can refer you outside to go and continue your medical treatment. And then you care less about how we live or die. You don't bother if we breathe. It's time to act. 48 hours. Even in that 48 hours, if you don't do, we call God to bear witness of those that don't care about us. Thank you very much. I'd like to end at this point. I'll leave the floor for those that want to make comments. But at the end of the day, what I want us to do is to raise money and then make a newspaper publication after 48 hours if there's no disbursement, because there's no excuse. I say what is going on can't be explained in heaven and on earth. There is no explanation. Spiritually or physically, this thing can't be explained. There is no scientific lab in the whole world that can explain this situation in Nigeria right now under this grand situation. If there was no money, I would say everybody go and rest. But there is money, there is grants. It's available, it's so close to being disbursed, yet it is lingering. The gods must be crazy. Something is wrong. I call you, let's join hands and get this in. The last newspaper publication, I gave the largest amount of money. The last protest, I gave the largest amount of money. All these things, I see, masses, stand up for your right. Don't be stupid. You can't give me 53,000 for something I know very well will not cover. In the last moves for the protest I made. You can't pay lip service to these things. Last newspaper publication, so I published the figures. I contributed more than everybody gave for that newspaper publication. This one, some of you come and say, I got 2 million. 2 million from where? Where did you give the 2 million? When I published on paper, I mean on website, what I gave myself. It's just that in this country, you're not supposed to talk about police clearance that they collect money for. But I pay more for police clearance. Let me say it. Because the state of this nation is getting crazy. I pay more for police clearance than all of you together have contributed for that police, for us to stage a protest. Just because we wanted to facilitate something and make sure that there is disbursement. So when people hear people come and say, if people don't understand what you're doing, bring out money. If you need result, let's go and publish it. Like we published last time, we're going to publish again. Otherwise, forget it. Go and sleep. If you think these people that don't buy diesel from their money will give you anything, go and sleep. They won't do it. I end my case here. Thank you very much, Secretary.
All right, sir. We want to thank